The baseball world woke up to a shocking development that nobody in the Bronx saw coming. A major trade rumor has exploded across the league, and it involves one of the most talked-about young players in recent years. According to reports circulating around Major League Baseball, the New York Yankees may have completed or are strongly considering a blockbuster one-for-one trade that would send shortstop Anthony Volpe to the Washington Nationals. Yes, you heard that right. The same Anthony Volpe, who was once considered the future face of the Yankees' infield, could potentially be heading to Washington in exchange for another shortstop. For Yankees fans who have followed Volpe since his rise through the farm system, this news feels almost unreal. Volpe was not just another prospect. He was a homegrown talent, a player developed inside the Yankees organization, and someone many believed would be part of the team's core for years to come. Yet baseball is a business, and sometimes front offices make bold decisions that shake the entire fan base. For the Yankees, this potential move raises a huge question. Why would the team even consider trading Anthony Volpe? The answer may lie in performance expectations and the team's constant push to remain competitive in a demanding American league. While Volpe has shown flashes of elite defense and exciting base-running ability, his offensive consistency has often been debated by analysts and fans alike. The Yankees are a franchise that demands production at every position, especially at a premium spot like shortstop. If the front office believes another player could bring more offensive balance or a different skill set to the lineup, they might be willing to make a surprising move. At the same time, the Nationals are in a very different phase as an organization. Washington has been rebuilding for several seasons, focusing heavily on acquiring young talent that can develop into future stars. For them, a player like Volpe could represent exactly the kind of long-term investment they're searching for. The idea of a one-for-one swap between the Yankees and Nationals is fascinating because deals like this are relatively rare in modern baseball. Most trades involve multiple prospects, draft picks, or additional pieces to balance value. But when two teams identify specific needs and believe the other team has the exact player who fits that need, a straight swap can suddenly become possible. In this case, speculation suggests the Nationals could be offering one of their talented young infielders in return. Such a move would give the Yankees a new option at shortstop while giving Washington a player who already has experience handling the bright lights of New York. It's also worth remembering that playing in Yankee Stadium comes with enormous pressure. Every game is scrutinized, every slump becomes headline news, and every error is replayed across sports media. Some players thrive in that environment, while others perform better when the spotlight isn't quite as intense. For Yankees fans, emotions around this situation are understandably mixed. Many supporters watched Volpe's journey from top prospect to everyday major leaguer and believed he represented the future of the franchise. His defensive ability, hustle, and energy quickly made him a fan favorite in the Bronx. At the same time, Yankees fans are also used to bold moves by the organization. This is a team that has never been afraid to shake things up in pursuit of championships. Throughout its history, the franchise has traded big names, signed superstar free agents, and made aggressive roster changes whenever the front office believed it was necessary to stay ahead of the competition. That tradition of bold decision-making means that even a surprising trade like this can't be completely ruled out. Another important factor in this situation could be the Yankees' long-term roster planning. Baseball teams constantly evaluate not only current performance, but also future payroll flexibility, contract timelines, and positional depth within the organization. If the Yankees believe they have other infield prospects who could step into bigger roles soon, they might feel more comfortable making a move involving Volpe. On the other side, the Nationals could see him as a cornerstone player around whom they can build their next competitive roster. A young shortstop with strong defensive skills and major league experience is an incredibly valuable asset for a rebuilding team trying to establish a new identity. The potential ripple effects of this trade could be massive for both teams. For the Yankees, bringing in a new shortstop would likely change the dynamics of their infield immediately. It could influence batting order decisions, defensive alignments, and even the leadership structure inside the clubhouse. Meanwhile, Volpe joining the Nationals would give Washington a player who has already experienced postseason expectations, high-pressure games, and the relentless spotlight of New York sports media. That kind of experience can be extremely valuable for a young team trying to grow and compete in the coming seasons. Another angle to consider is how the rest of the league might react if this trade actually happens. When a franchise like the Yankees makes a major move, other teams often begin reassessing their own strategies. Rival clubs in the American League East would immediately analyze whether the Yankees have improved their roster or created new vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, teams across the National League could view the Nationals as a more intriguing opponent if they suddenly add a young, high-profile shortstop like Volpe. Trades like this don't just affect the two teams involved. They can shift the entire competitive landscape of Major League Baseball. Fans in New York are also wondering what this could mean for the Yankees' overall direction moving forward. Are the Yankees preparing for another big roster shakeup? Could this be the first move in a larger series of trades aimed at reshaping the lineup? Historically, when the Yankees make one surprising decision, it often signals that more changes could be on the horizon. The front office has always been aggressive when it believes the roster needs adjustments. Whether that means pursuing another star player, promoting young prospects, or making additional trades, the Yankees rarely stand still for long. At the same time, it's important to remember that baseball trades often come with a level of uncertainty. Rumors, negotiations, and front office discussions can evolve quickly, and not every proposed deal actually reaches the finish line. What begins as a surprising report can sometimes fade away within days if teams decide the value doesn't quite match up. However, the very fact that a potential Anthony Volpe trade is being discussed shows how unpredictable the baseball offseason and trade market can be. Teams are constantly exploring ways to improve, and sometimes those explorations lead to shocking headlines that capture the attention of fans across the sport. As the situation continues to develop, Yankees fans will be watching closely to see what happens next. If this deal becomes official, it would mark one of the most surprising moves involving a young Yankees player in recent years. It would also open an entirely new chapter for both organizations, one where the Yankees reshape their infield and the Nationals potentially gain a player they hope can become a long-term leader. Baseball has always been a sport full of unexpected twists, and moments like this remind everyone why the trade market is one of the most exciting parts of the game. For now, all eyes remain on the Bronx and Washington as the baseball world waits for clarity. Will the Yankees truly move on from Anthony Volpe in a bold one-for-one swap, or will this rumor fade into the long list of deals that almost happened? Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain. When the Yankees are involved in a potential blockbuster trade, the entire league pays attention. And if this move becomes reality, it could reshape the future of two franchises in ways fans are only beginning to imagine.